Hi everyone, hola a todos, bonjour, bonsoir, and welcome to today's session. There's a lot of birds around, sorry for the background noise, that's a good thing. Today's session is focusing on UN Global Goal number 4, quality education. It's literally deafening bird sound. So yeah, quality education number 4, which I believe is fundamental to all the other goals. If you don't have quality education, then we can't change the world. So I really think number 4, they're all crucial, but I think the one we did last session, the good health and well-being, enables you to be educated if you're like receptive to it, because you have a healthy mind and healthy body. And then number 4, good health, now quality education is so key, is unbelievable to everything else. So we've got to get this right. And now's a great time because we're all on a big standstill with the lockdown and quarantena. So now's a good time to rethink and work together with like-minded people to get this quality education right. I'm not a teacher, and I don't actually know what they're teaching in schools at the moment. I've got a lot of friends that are teachers, and fair play to them, very stressful profession, and they do a great job. So thank you, teachers. I could not deal with all that stress and being inside. Yeah, I'm going to show you what I would say would be quality education. So it's a very highly secret blueprint for what I think we should be teaching the kids. It's very closely guarded secret. So I'm sure most of you might already know it. So I'm going to actually reveal it at the start. So are you ready? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, can everybody see? Can you see? Okay, now this brings me on to my first point, that we need to all speak more than one language, because how can we actually work together in a united world if everyone only speaks one language? Because then you can't talk to each other. What you can do is play sport and music, which is great. But it would be really handy if everyone spoke at least 2 languages, so that you could, or at least a little bit, so that we can actually talk to each other, because otherwise there's a lot of breakdowns in communication and things get misunderstood. So first thing I would advocate is speaking another language if you can, at least saying thank you or something. So when you go travelling, at least be able to say thank you, and hopefully order some chocolate. It's always handy. And chocolate is quite a universal word. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolat, chocolade. So yeah, key is learning another language. So if you don't currently understand this, then you should go learn some Spanish. Okay, so sé amable, sé honesto o honesta, sé amoroso o amorosa. I'm not really good at pronouncing this. Divertirte. Quite hard to pronounce it. Okay. So luckily for you guys that don't speak Spanish, I've thought ahead and prepared something for you. So if you speak English, be kind, be honest, be lovely, or show some love, and have fun. This is the key to our education. I might as well go home now. We'll close it off. It's been 3 minutes. 3 minutes, we're done. No, I'm joking. We've got loads more to do. Okay, so this is the blueprint. This is all we need. Okay, so I'll put this blueprint just so in case anyone needs a reminder. Okay, so we're going to start as always with our sessions. Sorry, hydration. We're going to start as always with our sessions with the high five principle that we do with all of the sessions. So it's just a good way to remember. It helps me, because I'm a big kid, and it helps kids to remember. In these sessions I'm teaching you how to teach kids, so that's why I'm showing you these ways. Okay, so normally kids and me, because I think like a kid, or if you've got maybe ADHD, or so you're trying to find it hard to focus on a lot of things at once, or your brain is like mine, like fireworks, and then I'm constantly thinking of many different things. So it's quite helpful just for me anyway to be able to focus on one thing at a time. So here we're going to go for fun warm-up game. we're going to do an individual game in case you're in lockdown or in quarantine, and then you can't go out. Like I can't play sport with anyone or see anyone, and it's been 2 months now since I last played sport with anyone, and I really miss football and surfing and skiing, in fact everything. So yeah, the individual game, group game, something you could do if you are lucky enough to be in a big family or have some housemates to play football with. That's a group game. Physical challenge, so something we can all have a go at and do a bit of an international competition. And then an action for the goal. My friend Clara, you might have seen her video yesterday where she talked about like the world's largest to-do list. And so there's some really good actions on that. Okay, so we call it the high five, or arriba cinco if you're in Spanish. Okay, so I'm not going to overwhelm you with all this art. Let's start with our warm-up, because I'm also quite cold. It's autumn here in Chile. Sorry for all the background noise, we are living a normal life, so there's traffic and birds. Okay, so in my box of magic tricks, I always have smiley balls, very handy, cones, skipping rope or any rope, water bottle, and football, and some oil pastels, personal choice, okay, and a raincoat, okay. Cameraman's looking very serious. First we're going to do a warm up with for our arms and our upper body, so coordination, because as you may or may not know, if you get the blood flowing in your body, it also gets the blood round to your brain as well, so you can actually think straight. For example, if I'm revising for exams, then I always need to go for a bike ride or a run or swim or play football before and after, because otherwise I can't think straight. My mind is going crazy. So yeah, do a lot of exercise, and then that's going to help you focus. Well, it helps me anyway. So we're going to do an upper body warm up first. So you're going to take some kind of ball, or handily, this is actually an apple tree, so you could use an apple, the Isaac Newtons around there. Okay, so you're going to try and juggle the ball with both arms, so you're getting a warm up for your upper body. So here we go. And it should help you like focus on, if you just focus on the ball, it's kind of like, for me anyway, it means I kind of block out all the other creative thoughts I'm having and just focus on the ball. However, if you do get to quite a good standard of sporting ability, then you can multitask and talk to a camera whilst doing it. Right, let's try without looking at the ball. It's a lot harder. Okay, so if you do repetitive movements over and over again, like rowing, kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, shout out to SUP Bristol, my lovely colleagues back in Bristol. If you do that rhythmic movement, it actually helps align the neurons in your brain. So instead of firing all crazily, like mine does, then the rhythmic repetitive movement can help you relax and focus more easily. So even just doing a few things like this can help you be able to relax. So if I was about to sit an exam, then I would do a few things like this to relax and not have too many things going on. So we're going to do another one of these. So we're going to do alternate bats with the table tennis bats and a ball. You could use your hands if you don't have bats. Ready? We're going to try, if you're doing this with me, then I am going to go around this apple tree, and in the time it takes me to go around the apple tree, you have to go around your yoga mat or your bedroom or your garden. Okay, ready? Let's see who's going to get back first. I'm going to go around the tree. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, who won? Okay, we're going to go again, round 2. This time you have to balance it on one of your bats, okay, or your hand if you don't have a bat, or you could use a plastic plate for a bat, or something like, or a paper plate is better, recyclable. Okay, ready? So, kind of like egg and spoon race at school, if you're as old as me and you did an egg and spoon race. Apparently they don't do them anymore in England. Anyway, so egg and spoon race, reinvented, let's go. Nearly. Okay, so this is just getting kids doing something a little bit silly, which they should enjoy, and developing their balance, coordination, agility at the same time, hand-eye coordination. Right, we're going to go one more time, one more variation. So we've done the batting, so that's going to be good if they want to learn table tennis or squash, badminton, tennis. The balancing one, again, probably good for, I imagine, tennis, squash. Okay, so let's do one more. Unless anyone has any suggestions, I would say could do something a bit silly, because kids like when you do silly things. Okay, so you're going to try, it's quite hard, you're going to try and balance it between your bats. Okay, ready? Kids have really good imagination, so you can also just ask them what could be a challenge. Okay, ready? So we're going again. This is the hardest one. Yeah, that's a hard one. Okay, great. So that's the upper body warmed up. Obviously, if I was doing a professional sports science warm-up, I would do it longer, but just to not take your time, we're going to do a 5-minute warm-up instead of a 20-minute warm-up. Skipping rope is really good for getting your whole body going, and it's going to show you a football-y one. Okay, it's a very tempting tire here to try and kick the ball through, but I'm going to stick with my original plan. So going round the tree again, you're going round your room, or your yoga mat, or your bed, wherever you were training. Okay, so the first one, wait for the lorry to go past. The first one we're going to do is juggling the ball. So if you've watched any of our Brave training sessions, where we've done about juggling, or where we've talked about how to control the ball, you can always revisit them in the Global Goals World Cup Clubhouse. Then you'll be able to have the knowledge of different parts of your foot. So we're going to go for the kick-ups one first. So laces, ready? It doesn't matter if you can't do them continuously, don't worry, just do one catch. Okay, we're going around the tree. One catch. It's all happening here. Okay, so you just push yourself. So if you can do continuously, like some of my friends who also do the Global Goals videos are very, very advanced footballers, the professionals. So for them, oh, we have a cameo appearance from Jack the dog. Please. Jack! Hi, Jack. Okay, so I'm going to try and challenge myself, although I'm not a professional footballer, to go all the way around the tree without the ball falling. And we have a keen new member of the team. Hi, Jack. So I've got 4. Where's Jack gone? Okay, now we're going to go for the side, round the tree again. I'm better with the thigh than the foot. Okay, great, nice and warmed up. Okay, so hopefully you can feel that your heart rate has increased. That means more blood is circulating, more oxygen is getting to your working muscles, also to your brain. And you should feel that your breathing rate's increased. Get more oxygen in. Okay, great. Okay, so now we're going to go, lovely quote from Malala here. It says, in some parts of the world, students are going to school every day. It's normal. But in other parts of the world, we are starving for education. It's like a precious gift. It's like a diamond. And that was from Malala. And it's really true. And even on a smaller scale, maybe people are realising from the lockdown and quarantena that they're really bored not seeing their friends at school and stuff. So yeah, it's quite humbling to read that quote. So what we're going to do now is move on to the individual game, okay, and then we'll be doing a group game, then the physical challenge, and then the action for the goal. So I'm going to blow your mind now by unleashing the rest of the session plan. Okay, here you go. So can you see here we've got different ways of saying thank you from around the world? So I think as someone, like I do a lot of backpacking and travelling, and I think the least you can do in any country that you go to is just learn the word for thank you, because it will go a long way. Like when you go to a shop or restaurant, or even just someone helps you, then the least you can do is learn the word for thank you. So I think it's important we start trying. So I learned this morning the word for thank you in Mapusungdung, which is the indigenous language of Araucania in this region. So apparently for a girl it's Chalt Mai Lamgian. I know I've pronounced that very wrong. I'm sorry to cause offence to any Mapuches watching this, but I tried. Then this is a really fun one. This is a really cool one. Shout out to my friends at Kickstart Ghana. So in Ghanaian, the more ka you add on to your akpe, the more thankful you are. So I think it's brilliant. So I often like exaggerate the amount of kas I add to my akpe, so which makes people laugh, because like if they like pass you the ketchup and you add quite a lot of kas, it's like I'm so thankful. But it's quite fun. So akpe ka, as many kas as you want. Grazie mille, gracias, thank you, merci, danke, obrigada, tak. I'm not actually sure if it's tak or tak, anyway, and dank, vielen dank. Okay, so they, Ellen, hi Ellen. So Ellen's our Estonian member of Team Brave, and she says, say, oh, there's an umlaut, Ellen, that's hard. Aita. Hi Estonia. I'm going for Aita. Am I right, Ellen? Or Aita? Aita? Yeah, thank you, Ellen, for bringing Estonia. I can add that in. Thank you, Ellen. So Ellen's a member of Team Brave, our goalkeeper, general legend, and most loyal watcher of these videos. Thank you, Ellen. So we're going to add in Aita from, and it's going to be pleased to know. Aita. We have Estonian. Okay, so we're going to do a game which is the multiple ways to say gracias, grazie, thank you. Okay, so it's an individual one, and it's just a simple one, similar to our warm-up. What you've got to do is juggle the ball, or bat the ball, or if you're a hockey player, dribble the ball, or if you're a rugby player, maybe do those cool throws that you throw them in the air and the ball like swizzles around. Swizzle is not a word. It's like twisty one. Okay, so anything, so here I drew a few of the sports that you could do this with. You can even do it with like water sports or outdoor sports, like because I'm a stand-up paddleboard instructor, so, and a keen surfer, even though I'm not good. So you could do this with like paddle strokes. Like every paddle you have to say one of the ways of saying thank you. I think it's really good for kids because they like learning stuff and it's handy. Okay, so I'm going to do football just because I don't get many chances to play football, so that's a good time. This ball is from the FIFA World Cup Russia 2018. So hi to everyone in Russia if you're watching. Okay, so we're gonna, what you have to do, hopefully you'll memorise all those thank you words, and then what you need to do is every time the ball drops, you have to say one of the words for thank you, otherwise you lose a life. Okay, we're going to start, as it's goal 4, you've got 4 lives. When the ball drops, then you have to say one of the words for thank you, otherwise you lose a life. We also have some sheep joining us for today's session. We're going in the zoo. Ready? Obviously the more practice you've done, the longer it's going to take for it to drop. Okay, so it's dropped. So I'm going to say the new one I learnt just now from Ellen. Aitai, I don't know. Did Ellen say how to pronounce it?
Said perfect.
Oh, thank you, Ellen. So nice knowing Ellen's there, even if it isn't. I know it's just Ellen, Maiken, and my mum and my dad. Then it's good. Okay, next one we're going to use a different surface. So outside. And it's dropped. Literally, we're now currently in a sheep. So now I'm gonna use the one I learnt this morning from Mapusundung, which is really hard. Chile ma to recap. So it's Kaltmai Langen, badly pronounced, but with a lot of enthusiasm. Okay, let's go for, we're going to be here a while because I'm going to do the thighs, which is my personal speciality. Obviously, I'm never really going to do this in a match, but just helps you get confident. What are you doing? Okay, ball's gone. So now another thank you, obrigada, because I really want to learn Portuguese. That's going to be my next language to learn, Brazilian Portuguese, because I would like to go kite surfing and visit the rainforest. So my next target, my friend Laureen said she would help, is try and learn Portuguese. Okay, now we're going to go for inside, and my friend Coco's going to teach me some French so I can go see him in Togo. French is really hard, I think. Oh, I'm just cheating at my own game. Okay, I'll do it properly, concentrate. Okay, so the ball drops. Merci. Now we're going to go headers. Okay. What were some of the other ones? Oh, akpeka kakakakakakakakakakakakakakakaka. Okay. And back heel. This is a flashy one. Merci beaucoup. Okay, that was for Coco, who's been very patiently trying to teach me French, which I am not a natural. Oh, I've got to do the German. Vielen Dank. Okay. So that's our thank you game, or gracias game, grazie mille game. So we've done the first two. Now we're doing a group game. So how I don't have a group, and I haven't seen anyone apart from the cameraman and Jack the dog. So very calm. So the group game, I'll just adapt this gracias game, or whatever you want to call it, the danke game, obrigada game, in a group. So I'd say, like, in a group we're going to juggle it, or football, tennis. Every time the ball drops, someone has got to, like, rush and say thank you or gracias, grazie, grab the ball, and then you start playing again. So I will try and show you how I would play this as a group. Jack is 13 years old. He is not looking enthusiastic to join in my game. The sheep, very preoccupied. So I'm going to show you how I would play a group version of the grazie game. Grazie mille. Trying to make the cameraman laugh is really hard. It's deadpan. Okay, ready? So I'm showing a group version of what I just did. So we're juggling like this. Then can you catch it? Okay, so in a team we're working, and then suddenly the ball goes over there. Yeah, good juggling. Oh no, the ball's dropped. So one of us got to grab it quickly, and then kids would like to gain points normally, so you could say, like, okay, grab it. That could cause fights, but let's try. Grab it, and then you say, okay, think of a quick way to say thank you in another language. And they'll go, and then, obrigada. Okay, so let's try again. Ready? It did technically drop there. No, I'm giving you a chance here. You won. So I grab it, and then vielen Dank. Okay, that's German, thank you very much. Okay, one more time. Okay, so if you're playing this at home with your friends or family, then I hope there's no collisions when you're grabbing the ball. Also, it'd be good if anyone can write it in another language to add to my list, because I didn't know how to write in Arabic or Chinese, and don't have any signal to Google how to do it, so I had to just do it from my head. Tack. Shout out to everyone in Denmark. Such legends, the Danes. I really like the Danish people. So tack or tark or take. Hi to everyone here watching in Copenhagen, including Maiken. So now we move on to, we've done the group game. I hope, do you understand how you'd play that with multiple kids? Like making a circle of it, keep the ball, see how many they can do in a row. Maybe they get to 100 and then see how many different ways of saying thank you. And maybe maybe you can't repeat the same way to make it a bit competitive. Physical challenge. Okay, so this is something like that's going to strengthen your core, just so you have like kind of objective to work towards, and you can use it to compete. Like for example, here I'm pretty isolated in rural Chile, but I feel connected to my friends by, like, we have some WhatsApp groups and we text saying like, oh, how fast could you ride a half marathon on your mountain bike? How long can you hold the plank for? And it's just a bit of connection. So physical challenge, I'm going to do that, and I'll just show you, I show you some of the arty bits here. Can you see this side? Okay, so I've got my oil pastels going, and I just tried to graphically represent some of the quality education, so what I would teach kids. Okay, so firstly, from Swahili, from Kenya, Hakuna Matata. Hopefully you've seen The Lion King. So Hakuna Matata, it actually does mean no worries. So that's a really important thing. There's so many kids these days have mental health issues like anxiety, depression. There's a lot of pressure on them, and the society makes it pretty tough for kids and teenagers and even adults these days. So Hakuna Matata to tell them not to worry. Then I just drew like different symbols to represent different educational things, which I thought were important. So basic things like equality. You can interpret everything as you want. The rainbow, which is now kind of representing appreciating the National Health Service and the key workers. Music is like an international language. Sport is an international language. Art an international language. Different ways of saying the same thing, but translated into different languages. So it's really important to know. If you know the other languages, then you can tell what they're saying. If you don't know, then you might miss something. It's like when you text somebody and the emotion doesn't come across, but that's because it's a text, not someone talking. Also, I thought I'd get very nerdy, and I hope my dad is watching. Hi, is my dad watching? Oh yes! So, my dad is a pharmaceutical consultant, research, investigation, and I thought, well, actually an international thing is the periodic table. I am going to be asking for so much chocolate after this, like flying the flag for chemists. So I thought that in surfing there's a phrase which says like a lot of the world's problems can be solved by salt and water. So here we have salt for the chemists amongst us, NaCl, and water, where are you? H2O. Again, as far as I'm aware, that's the same in all languages. I'm going to hopefully get a confirmation from my dad that the periodic table does not change. So salt, do you know why the world's problems could be solved with salt and water? Anyone? I'm imagining a sea of 5-year-olds right now. Yeah, anyone? So you've got here, so you could go surfing or swimming, so like going into the sea, that you can help you relax and have fun. Tears, so if you cry, it releases the toxins that are built up in your brain, which make you feel worried or sad. Even when you cry, those get released, and then you actually feel more calm and it's easier to sleep afterwards. I should know, I have insomnia. And salt is also in sweat. So if you go for a run or play basketball, play football, play rugby, then you're also releasing salt and water, a few other things, but just keep it basic for now. So yeah, just think of the salt thing. And coincidentally, I am wearing my Salt Rock jumper. So hi to everyone at Salt Rock, thank you for making nice jumpers. I really like them. And then H2O, water. So just to continue my nerdiness, I was trying to remember my equations here. So a thing I would teach kids is the importance of plants and trees. Here I am next to a tree. I feel very calm when I'm with trees and like being outside. So my dad is going to have to help a bit here, but I tried to do the basic equation of respiration and photosynthesis, because they're, in case you don't know, they're like inversed. They're the complementary or opposite. So for us, we need carbohydrate. There you see, carbohydrate. I took out the numbers because it's confusing. I think it's like 6CHO or something. Don't worry about numbers. So carbohydrate. So we need sugar basically, or complex carbohydrates, and oxygen. And then we use that to make energy, and then the waste products that we give out when we breathe out is carbon dioxide and water. Okay, coincidentally, our friend the tree here, the trees take in the carbon dioxide and the water. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. And then they use that for their photosynthesis to make oxygen and to make like carbohydrates. So like the fruits that are on trees, that's giving you carbohydrates. So I think that's quite fundamental for all kids to learn, and hopefully makes them not chop so many trees down, because we need them to live. Okay, so yeah, you could interpret this in any way. It's just kind of for me to jog my memory. Here I was showing you some colour theory from art, complementary colours. Okay, the ones that look good together. And yeah, well, you can interpret it in your own way, any of those. Got some electrons and atoms down here. So yeah, I just thought if I did that, then people could interpret it in their own way. We've got pi, not an apple pie, the way to find the area of a circle. We've got the right angle triangles, all kinds of stuff. I do remember being in maths class and wondering why we were doing quadratic equations. So far in my career I've not used them, but maybe if I was an engineer I would have done. But yeah, I think it's always important to say why it's applied, so you can work out what you would need it for. Like maybe the triangle to work out the area of a football pitch, or like the area of the circle. A circle could be like the centre circle or something. So I think it's good to apply it. This is the Mapuche logo, okay, the indigenous people of here. Okay, so I think that's covered most of that. Onto the physical challenge now. Sorry for talking a bit then. So we're going to do a physical challenge, thinking about, and when we're doing this, everyone who's doing it is going to be thinking, sorry, you've got neighbours coming past. You're going to, while you're doing this, be thinking of what, here I wrote, what would you teach our kids? Oh, my pad's coming, huh? So, ¿qué enseñarán nuestros niños? So while we're doing this, be thinking about that. So it's just going to be a simple balance. Okay, so it's actually the first one I did on the Brave Challenges. It's called the Eagle Balance. Trying not to get off-cut by the sheep here. Okay, so you've got to put it on the back of your neck. Then the tactics is to put your arms out like a bird. And hopefully you've not got sheep invading your training area. And then you're going to see how long you can hold it for. Okay, ready? So we're going to go, everyone's got to try and do it for at least 10 seconds to give you time to think of what you would teach to today's kids. Ready? So arms out like a bird. Okay, if you want you can walk around. But all the time you're thinking like, what would I actually want to teach the kids if we revolutionised the education system? Ooh, okay. One more time because I think I could do better than that. Ready? Oh, I thought of a challenge. Let's see if we can go down. And you got to see, I actually can't really do a full press up because I don't have good upper body strength. There you go, into plank. And then if you're good at press ups, you could like go down, but I'm not very good at that. Okay. I'll work on that. Okay, so there's your physical challenge. Eagle neck balance, like the first ever Brave challenge. And then go down into a press up if you can. If you're really good, you can do like the press ups where you clap. Okay, and so that's it. We've gone through this artistic area. So we've done the warm-up game. Remember, we went around the tree doing different challenges for your hand-eye coordination and your foot-eye coordination. Individual game was the Gracias game, or Grazie game. Group game, then that was adapted to do it juggling as a group. Physical challenge is the eagle neck, or whichever bird you want, flamingo neck, penguin, condor, any other birds, robin, any bird, and then go down into a press up if you want to make it really hard. You okay?
Low battery.
Oh, low battery, sorry. And then the action for the goal, anything that you think, hopefully this page which I put on our Instagram page on Team Brave, so in case you wanted to refer to it, that could jog your memory. Okay, I think that's everything. We've got low battery here, so gonna have to stop talking. So yeah, the next session is on Friday, where we'll do the next goal. So today was goal number 4, and Friday will be goal number 5. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope it was helpful. Hope it's going to help the kids you work with and give you some new ideas. If you can please press compartir or share, or I actually don't know how to say share in many other ways, then that would be really helpful because it could capture the imagination of one of your friends. So thank you, and yeah, see you on Friday.